I'm Robert D, your favorite OG. Welcome to my channel where truth is told and lies are exposed. Let's get to it. So the topic of this one is going to be celebrity worship. Now I know I'm not going to be able to cover this whole thing on my little walk, but I'm gonna definitely get the conversation started, right? And you know what? I was thinking about this. There's no real solution to this. I just want to share some light on the epidemic within our community. And you know what? I was thinking more about it. It's not really even just limited to the black community, right? Because even in the white community, they have celebrity worship. The world promotes its little g guys, okay? And so I just want to highlight this, because for the believers, we should not be worshiping nobody but the Lord, right? And for a caveat to that is, as created beings, we are created to be worshipers. So the need to worship is in us. If you're not worshiping God, you'll be worshiping something else or someone else. Some people worship money. Some people worship food. Some people worship themselves. Some people worship women, right? And then for a lot of us, they worship these little g celebrities, right? And that is something that needs to be highlighted. So on that, I just want to get that conversation started. So I'm not even looking at no real solutions, to be honest with you. It's just to highlight a problem and to point it out for us as Christians to see if we find ourselves falling into this trap that we need to stop, right? Because it is an idol on the throne of our heart, and should nobody be there but the Lord Jesus, right? So thinking about this, it just took me back to my very first girlfriend that I had at the age of 15. I met her in ninth grade at Cooley High School in Detroit. Very beautiful girl, everybody wanted her name was Diana, right? Dirty Diana, boy. She's still around to this day. We still friends. And so I'll never forget when first time I went to her house and she took me to in her bedroom. We just going in there to hang out and stuff. Her whole wall was just plastered with pictures of Prince. Prince was the guy back then, right? And so I'll never forget my 15-year-old self was jealous. And, but yeah, she was so in love with Prince and fantasized about him that when she saw me in school, I'm mixed too and Prince is mixed. She was just on me, right? And so that's probably when I got my real first taste of somebody, like being just head over heels over a celebrity, right? But you got to remember that was during the time we didn't have the internet and social media and all these other outlets. I think really all we had was probably like MTV. It just came out. It was your exposure to celebrities was real limited, just what you can get on news or MTV or little magazines and stuff like that, right? It was real limited. So it wasn't like an all-out thing, but when a person did latch onto a celebrity, it was just as real as it is today. But now with the age of social media and all these devices and stuff, it's just out of control worship now, right, of these people. And so I just want to highlight that. Like I said, this is not a conversation that could be had, in one walk, but it's definitely one that needs to get started. And so, yeah, I would just like to do that. And so that's gonna be the beginning of it. Other than that, we're just out here on our walk. Look at my buddy right there. And so it's funny. I want to say this too before I end this video. Uh, Thank you for all the new subs, of course. Thank you for those that watch. I appreciate it. I really do. Um, I know how precious time is, and there's so much out there to take up our attention and our time. So, for me to, get my little 15 minutes of fame, I appreciate it. And, to be honest, I try not to really get caught off into this Samson too much because I know I don't want to, I don't want this to replace my devotion to the Lord, right? So this is more like a hobby, and I have to keep it in that state of mind right there. Samson, stop. Let me get my dog. Oh yeah, you want to paddle? Yeah, of course. Yeah, his name is Samson.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my buddy. Oh, he's making new friends now. Look at that. Oh, that's cool.
Have a good day.
You too, sweetie. So yeah, but I forgot what I was saying. They just threw me off, but that was cool. Oh yeah. So so I appreciate the new subs. I appreciate the views and the likes and all that, right? But I also understand that if ever I find myself getting too involved with with the views and the likes, and it becomes that, because I've heard other YouTubers talk about that. I'll pull back. I'll pull back in a minute. The only thing I know I will be the most consistent of is doing my devotional in the morning. But for this here, nah. So it would never take that much place in my life, that much time and attention. I'm not doing it. I'm not making money off this, and I'm definitely not like looking at this as a way to get rich off of, for sure. I don't chase the things of this world no more. But I also I like the I like it as far as being a way to communicate with people and have fun. Like I said, it's always will remain a hobby for me, right? But I don't take those who watch and subscribe and leave comments and like, I don't take that lightly. I appreciate that. I truly do, right? So, but I guess what I'm saying is, this is all in good fun, entertainment, and keep it lighthearted, right? But if I ever find it's becoming more than that for me, I will absolutely withdraw, and I have for months at a time. So this will never replace my real devotion, if that makes any sense. So with that being said, right? So I noticed I had some unsubscribers, right? And I appreciate just that just as much as I do people that subscribe, because I'm not trying to fit in and be for everybody. If what I say or how I think and what I do rub somebody the wrong way, please unsubscribe and keep it moving. Because the audience that I want everybody be of the same like mind, of course, right? So I don't get upset about the unsubscribe. I don't get upset about negative comments either. So I just had to throw that out there. Dealing with this social media thing. This is all new to me, right? And so I'm learning as I go. All right. So please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.